Hey, what's up everyone? It's JR again from Holy Faith TV. Wanted to talk about some of the things that happened to our YouTube channel over the weekend. So on Sunday night I noticed that 4 of my videos had been demonetized. Necessity of a Good Confessor was one of them, by Father Isaac Mary Relier. Another one was Revival of the Russian Orthodox Church and Fall of the West. Those two I was really surprised. I was really surprised that they got demonetized because there's nothing really that controversial in them. Anybody that's watched either one of those videos, I mean especially the Russian movie, okay, or the Russian video, there's really nothing that edgy in it. The only thing that I could think that would be so edgy in that video that they would demonetize it is when Vladimir Putin talks about the reasons for the decline of the West versus morals in Russia. For example, he talks about how the West is now is putting on equal gay marriage to homosexual marriage, or gay marriage rather to heterosexual marriage. And there's a couple other moments like that, but other than that, there's really nothing edgy in that video whatsoever. It's strictly an opinion piece. Obviously not everybody holds that opinion, but it's not an opinion that should be anathema, in my opinion, anyway. But apparently in Google's opinion, it's something that is not advertiser friendly. No advertisers would want to advertise on it. Necessity of a Good Confessor, I mean, that's so straightforward. There's nothing edgy in that video. But apparently confessing your sins to a priest is not advertiser friendly, according to Google. Then the other one that I have no surprise at is the video with Robert Spencer talking about Islam. He's saying that, you know, there's moderate Muslims, but Islam itself doesn't have a moderate theology. So there's no surprise on that, because I mean, anything that even mentions Islam, even sometimes I think if it's pro-Islam, they demonetize it, just to be safe. They want no criticism whatsoever from the West on Islam or the Muslim migration or anything of that nature. You can guarantee if it even touches or brushes around that subject, it's going to be completely shut down. I'm surprised they actually didn't try to privatize the video. Luckily they haven't done that yet. You wait. A couple of complaints down the road and that'll probably happen too. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, so I'm not sour. There's no sour grapes here. I didn't get into this. I didn't start making these videos in order to get rich or anything like that. But it is nice to have a little bit of revenue to offset some of the costs. Now some of you may be sitting out there thinking, well, I sit around and I make videos with my cell phone. It doesn't cost me a dime. Well, that's probably true. But I spend a lot of money in travel and I plan on doing more. That's the entire reason why I monetize some of my videos, is because I want to do more, okay? I want to grow Holy Faith TV, and I want to do some special projects. My plan eventually is to do special documentaries on various topics that are relevant to Catholicism. And you can't do that unless you have funds. You need funds to make that happen. So that's my whole goal behind monetizing videos, and even setting up a Patreon account. I'm not into this to get rich. I have a full-time job. You know, I don't, so to speak, need the money, but eventually down the road, I'd love to be doing this full-time. But you can't do something like this full-time unless you have the funds supporting you. And there's lots of people out there on YouTube or other platforms that aren't doing something related to the faith, and there's lots that are too, but there's some that aren't doing anything related to the faith. They're literally sitting in front of their webcam and talking about the news, giving opinion pieces. And they're making big money on Patreon. Like, one guy, for example, Styx Hexenhammer, who's got quite a little following. I think he's up to almost 200,000 subscribers. He's doing really well for himself. Just on Patreon alone, and he has many other revenue sources too. But on Patreon alone, he has over $3,300 a month coming in income. That's great. I'm not condemning the guy. that's great that at the end of the day, his viewers are willing to reward him. But my point of bringing that up is that some people, like, for example, I had a commenter on a Facebook group where I talked about how my YouTube videos, some of my YouTube videos got demonetized. He said, oh, well, maybe God's trying to save you from the sin of simony. Well, I mean, certainly people that create YouTube content can go in that direction. I'm not going to argue that, but that's definitely not my intention. And trust me, believe me when I say that I spent a lot more money than I will probably make back in 2 years, okay, making these YouTube videos. And I'll be spending more money. Anything that I bring in for advertising revenue, I simply plan to use to further Holy Faith TV. That's the goal. That's the plan right now. But anyways, back to my original subject. So, Google's heading in this left-wing direction. It's obvious that it's time for conservatives to have other platforms. Right now, Holy Faith TV, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Patreon. But all of those organizations have all attacked right-wingers and conservatives. You don't even have to be Catholic or religious. Just anything right-wing at all. If it even remotely supports Donald Trump, for example, then you can guarantee they're going to shut it down. Or they're going to at least demonetize it. They're going to at least try to create some chaos on your channel, without a doubt. They want nothing to do with conservatism. The reason I'm bringing this up is it's obvious now that we need other platforms. We need to find other platforms that are going to be open to free speech, that we can go on, we can post our content, and maybe even make a little bit of revenue and not have to worry about getting shut down because the organization's owned by left-wingers. Now, there are a few people that are doing this already or have already created these types of things. So DTube is one. Holy Faith TV is on DTube. To be quite honest, we haven't had a lot of success on there so far as view counts go. But it's something that as we grow, I may cross-post between YouTube and DTube and try to grow the DTube side, just because of the fact that YouTube is cracking down on us so much. That's a very good possibility that I may take it in the direction of DTube. Now with DTube, they operate in cryptocurrency, somewhat similar to Bitcoin, but it's called Steam Power. Now, I'm not convinced on cryptocurrencies myself, personally, but to be fair, I don't have a lot of in-depth knowledge on cryptocurrencies either. So I know Bitcoin obviously is very successful, but some of the other ones like Steam Power, for example, that you can sell off for the US dollar, I'm not convinced on it yet. We'll see though. If enough people get on DTube or on Steemit, which is out from where DTube comes from, if enough people are on Steemit and using it, if enough people leave YouTube and leave the Google platforms, then eventually maybe it could really grow into something. But I'm sure along the way there's going to be 2 or 3 other options that pop up, or that people create in the meantime. Right now, to be fair, YouTube is still the best platform out there as far as eyeballs go. If you want eyeballs on your video and people seeing it, you got to be on YouTube. Same way with Facebook. I'd love to get off Facebook. I don't want to be on Facebook anymore. I think Facebook's a terrible organization. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg at all. But it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, right now. That is the way of social media. 99% of people that you know these days are on Facebook. So if you want to reach them, you got to be on those platforms. And isn't that a lot like the apostles? I mean, they went out into the areas where, let's be fair, the devil operated. Pagan Europe, for example. St. Peter and St. Paul, they went out into pagan Europe and evangelized amongst them. I mean, it's the same idea. It's the same idea. We have to go in amongst the pagans and even pagan platforms, so to speak, and try to win souls to Christ. That's the only way that you can do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Hope you enjoy your Monday. Luckily, I'm not working today, but I know everybody else is, so hopefully you weren't too stressed out today and you enjoyed this little episode of Catholic in a Car.